Hello, I am Devin, and I'm here to tell you about the AU-2G, and I just like to call it the AUG. It's a little bit easier to remember. It's somewhat small, it's bullpup, makes it a little smaller than a normal assault rifle. It has 350 feet per second and 150 feet distance. It's actually fairly good for an assault rifle, of course. Now, a little bit of kindergarten review, like all of my other videos. If you want distance, then go for a lighter BB. If you want accuracy, use a heavier BB, like .2 or .25. Now, to continue, its trigger is actually a little different from some guns. It's pressure sensitive. If you press it halfway, it'll do single shot. If you pull it all the way, then it shoots a bunch, basically. Now, it has a little safety feature. I think it's kind of cool. Helps for me since I'm left-handed. You can actually take this little pin for the safety. You can actually just pull it out and then switch it back in the other way if you're left-handed or right-handed. Me, I'm left-handed, so I switched it the other way. It makes it a little easier for me to flip the safety on and off. Fairly simple to get it in and out. Not that difficult. And it snaps in very comfortably, very smoothly also. And what next? The foregrip. Not that much to it. It goes horizontal or it can go vertical, depending on what kind of gunner you are. For me, I actually recommend this to a lot of people. Just leave it up, and then instead of actually holding onto the foregrip, just put your hand right in front of your other hand, kind of like a P90 grip. It's a little more comfortable, and it gives you a little more control on where you're aiming the gun. Just a little hint. All right, the clip. You can tell it goes with the gun. The bottom of it is actually the same color as the ABS plastic body. It is 350 high cap. Has a little windy thingamabob on the bottom. Helps you load in the BBs. All right. Now, another thing, like I said, I am left-handed. So I like this gun a lot because it is almost completely ambidextrous. The only thing that isn't is the grip. So it's a little more difficult for me to use it, even though it's not really important. Unless I want to get to my adjustable hop-up, which is actually right in the eject spot. Now, everything that is ambidextrous, I'd say, is this shorter strap on the back. You can actually put it on the right side or the left side. I already switched it since I'm a lefty. You can switch the safety mechanism and the ejection port. There's a cover on it. Basically, it makes a little bit of comfort for when you're aiming through the scope. And speaking of the scope, actually, it is a working scope. It is a working sight. It's 1.5 scope, and it's a little different from just a normal sniping scope because it's normal crosshairs, and then it has a little circle at the very center. Little tip for you. Now next, the butt plate. It's pretty hard rubber. You can rely on it. It probably will not fall out. Actually, as a matter of fact, I have to pry it open with a knife every time I have to get it out. That's actually kind of a problem for me. But basically, it's pretty simple. That's where the battery goes. You unplug it, plug it in. Just getting the plate on and off is a little difficult, but not much of a big issue, basically. All right, next, it's one thing I really like about the gun is how compact you can make it with just a couple simple justifications. Basically, just let me demonstrate. First thing you gotta do, just pull it back. Then there's a little lever right behind the foregrip. Push it down, and then twist the barrel clockwise, and then just pull it right out. There's your barrel. And then next, you have your clip, of course. Take that out. Alright, and then the last thing you can do is take the scope off of the main body. See this little button right here? Just push it in for the first click. Just like that, and then you can just pull it right out. So you got 4 pieces. You can easily just justify them into a small little square. You can fit them in a pretty small suitcase actually. It's very simple. Now, just a little reminder, you noticed, you probably didn't, but if you noticed that my tip of my barrel is not orange, I can have a good explanation for that. I was in a tournament, woodland tournament, and basically the ref told me personally, since I'm going to be sniping, because I have a sniper rifle, said since I'm going to be sniping, I'm going to want to hide, and the orange tip would definitely give me away, so he said I could paint it as long as he could look at it before I went into the tournament for safety precautions. Now, the body, it's pretty hard plastic on the whole greenish, brownish body area. And then everything that's black, almost everything that's black is metal, pretty good metal. Even the barrel tip is metal, unlike the other AUG from AirSoft. Citation, please don't sue me for that. And, well, that's basically everything I have to say about the gun. I would definitely tell people to buy this because it's very reliable, it's tough. The only downside is electric, so you can't play in the woods or like a wet, mossy area as much. It works with the straps, very good. These definitely won't break, so make sure you have a good strap to use. And, well, there's another site called blazingtoys.com, citation. It also has an AUG. I previously bought it, and it's actually not a bad gun for the price. I think it was $70 bucks, and it was all plastic except for the inner barrel and the metal gearbox. Everything else plastic, non-working sights and everything. Even had a little bolt to play with. But well, it's not as good of a gun. I'll have to admit it was only 300 feet per second with .2 BBs. And well, depending on how much money you want to pay, this was 140 bucks of my hard-earned cash. I worked for it. So if you have a hefty paycheck, or if you have parents that don't mind bleeding out of the wallet. Just depends what kind of person you are, I guess. So I would definitely recommend this to you. If you want to buy it, go right ahead. You don't need my permission. And well, I just want to say thanks for watching my video. It's been a real pleasure serving you. See ya.
I'm invincible. I'm indestructible.